It's the Great American Stampin Show. I'm Brandy Barnard from brandystamps.com, one of 4 competitors who will try to impress you with a wonderful card today. Your job is to watch my video and each of theirs. My competitors' links can be found right in my description, and you just give the like or the thumbs up to the one that you think is the best. Now, I'm wearing my crown today to celebrate a win from last episode. Thank you so much for all of your votes. You guys are awesome. It was a very close race, so kudos to my competitors and all the great work that they're doing. And don't forget that right now we are in our earning period. We're going to be doing a live event. The Great American Stampin Show girls will be on Zoom with you. All you have to do to get an invitation to our event is place a $35 order with any one of us. My link is right in my description. You just use my host code, place 35 or more order, and you will be invited to our exclusive event, which will be hosted on October 2nd. If you're not able to make it to the event live, we will also record it so you can check it out later. So be sure and be a part of that. And thanks for watching today. Let's get started. All throughout season 3, we have been featuring from the annual catalog these layouts that are on page 22. There are actually 22 of them, and because this is episode 8, we are on this one right here today. Before I ever got started working on this project, I already knew I was kind of in the mood for some Halloween stuff, and I had just received my Potions and Spells bundle from Stampin Up. This is one of our new online exclusive products, and also I am loving this Halloween designer paper pack. This is called Halloween Spells. You get 4 different sheets, 3 of each. If we flip these, you can see the other side has beautiful fun designs as well. So I had these kind of on the mind. I knew I wanted to do some Halloween projects soon. I love getting in the mood for spooky season and doing all the invitations, fun little treats, greetings for my friends, that kind of thing when it's Halloween time. So when I saw this layout, and by the way, this just sparked my creativity hard as soon as I saw it. I went, oh, this is really cute. This little 9 grid. There are just so many possibilities with that. One of my first thoughts was that cute Halloween paper, and I thought, I know I'm gonna have fun with this. So I've got a basic black card base here. I actually didn't score it. I'll just have to use my bone folder. Talk about spooky. Might be a little bit crunchy up there, but that's what the bone folder does. Gets a nice good crease there. So what size should each of these be, assuming I want 9 equal boxes that are going to create a nice little even card front? So let's grab a little scrap of paper. I want you guys to be able to remember this in case you would like to make a card as well. So what I figured is each of these needs to be 1 3/4 inch tall. And then the width here is going to be approximately 1 1/4, but actually we're going to go a 1 line past that. So I'm putting a plus right there because we're going to go 1 line past it. So let me show you on the trimmer. If you're looking right here on the trimmer, let's open this. Mine is dirty. Awesome. It gets used a lot. No worries. So 1 1/4 is right here. It's the first kind of huge line that goes all the way up that's past the 1. So ignore all of these numbers that are on the edge. We're looking at inches. 1 1/4, and then plus means we're going to go 1 line past it. See how there are all these little lines in between? So in between each 1/4 inch there are 4 lines. That means they are 1/16. So that is getting pretty fussy. This is actually 1 5/16, but I would never ask you to think about 16ths. That would like blow your mind. So let's go 1 1/4 plus. And when I say plus, I mean 1 little line. And as long as you cut all your papers the same, this is going to work out just fine for you. So each time I went to 1 1/4 and then I went boop and went to the very next little line. 1 1/4 plus for the width. So first thing, I cut some pieces from the designer paper. I've got that guy. I kind of fussy cut this one, which means I carefully positioned it in my trimmer to make sure I got the potion and the spell book, okay, just so I'd have a variety to play with. I also cut a couple that were plain white because I thought, ooh, maybe I'll do a little bit of stamping on a couple of these. And then I went to a brand new product that's in our new holiday mini catalog. So it's a festive glimmer paper pack. You get a couple sheets of this beautiful deep ruby red. You get a couple of sheets of this awesome evergreen, kind of perfect Christmas green. And you get a couple sheets of this other beautiful green, which could be amazing for holiday cards for sure. But isn't it just like a great acid green for my Halloween card? So yes, I cut a few pieces of glimmer paper as well. So I've got more than I need here because I'm only going to need 9 pieces, but I wanted to be able to play with it and put it together like a puzzle and decide what we want to stamp on these two guys. I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad, and I have 2 of the images from my Potions and Spells stamp set. One of them is this cute little raven, and one is a little spooky cat. So let's start with this guy. These guys are both bigger than the piece of paper that I'm working with. So the whole image won't fit on here, but some of it will. Okay, so we've got our kitty. Now let's get this cute little crow or raven or whatever he is. He's a spooky Halloween bird. Caw, caw. Okay, these guys are already so adorable. I am going to also pull in my Happy Halloween because I want to, of course, do a cute little Halloween greeting on here. So I'm going to put Happy here and Halloween here. Let's go ahead and ink up just the word we want. So I'm just doing Happy right now. Tap, tap, tap. I'm double checking that there's nothing on there. And now I'm going to come over here on the edge of my raven. Boom. Now stamp it a lot, rub it a little, get the ink off of there, and let's go over to Halloween. Turn the kitty to the side. So here's my 2 little guys. Now they say Happy Halloween. I'm going to pull in a few of my Stampin' Blends. I've got both shades of Granny Apple Green, both shades of Gray Granite. I have just the dark Daffodil Delight, just the light Pumpkin Pie, and just the dark Flirty Flamingo. And both of these animals are going to be primarily Gray Granite. So on my kitty, I will use mostly my light colored Gray Granite. And I'm starting with my nib tip so that I can kind of get the details, his ears, his feet, and then I will fill it in with the brush tip. Now I'll go back in with the darker Gray Granite and just give him a few highlights. Usually the stamped image will show you where to put them, like wherever there are already little kind of highlight marks, just kind of go over those. Okay, finish him off with a little green eyes and a pink nose. And now I'm jumping over to the raven, and I'm going to color him starting with the dark Gray Granite. And then I'm going to color his entire body in the dark Gray Granite, and then I'll just go back over it and do more layers where I want it to be darker on his feather edges and stuff like that. Okay, adding these final darkening touches to the feathers. I've already colored his feet with my light pumpkin and his beak with my dark daffodil. I'm leaving his eye white just to kind of give a space with no color. I know one of the details I want for this card. I know I'm going to use these little bits to create my grid. I'll have these guys in there too. And so I looked for a different greeting or something that I might have on this strip, but I didn't want to say anything besides Happy Halloween. And so I decided to replace this bit with a ribbon. So I'm going to use a little bit of ribbon right here. And what could be more perfect than our vanilla and black checked ribbon, which also can be colored. So I can use any one of my coordinating colors here and make the ribbon match. And in this case, I'm going to try a pumpkin pie. This is the light pumpkin pie. And I am literally just taking the brush tip, I'm laying it to the side. I've got my strip of ribbon and I am just coloring it. I just did that half, now I'll flip it around. It just takes a few swipes. It's easy, quick, fun to do. You could even do a whole batch of like birthday or Christmas cards or whatever. You do want to have a grid sheet underneath you because obviously I'm getting some ink flowing. And I'm going to flip to the back to look and see if it even needs anything more, but look at that, the back is basically already colored because it goes through. Sometimes there's a little whitish edge, so you can go touch those up. And now I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I actually did a green one as well, and that way when it comes time and we're putting the card together, we will have options on what color ribbon to use. So the next thing we're gonna wanna do is just sort of lay out our pieces onto this paper here and just move them around. After playing with it for a few minutes, I decided this is how I wanted my pieces to lay out. So the trick now is how to glue them to the card front in a way that they can all stay butted up against each other and leave you with that perfect edge that you want to see around your card. So let me show you a little trick that I developed for that. I've got this extra piece of white right here. It is, you know, big enough to touch all of these, but it doesn't come close to reaching to the outside edge. I'm just going to lay that right here, and I am going to coat it with Seal Plus. I'm doing row after row. I'll just start with the first one, and I am going to let it hang off on both directions, just like I saw that it was going to. I'm using my grid sheet a little bit to help me get that first one kind of straightish, but honestly it doesn't matter because now all I'm going to do is line up each one straight with the raven, and as long as they line up with him, everything can be straight in the end. So just, each one I just pick it up, put it in position, make sure the corners line up, and then press it down. Okay, and that gave me the perfect little grid. So now I'll just flip this over and put adhesive on. You can now see this is the same piece where I had told you how big to cut this. And I'm going to roll some Seal Plus on the back of this. And now there's just a slight height difference between the designer paper and this piece of basic white cardstock that I had used. So I'm going to use a few mini glue dots on the edge just because they have just a little bit more height. So something like this, and I'll just lay a couple down just on the outside edge here. Now we can bring this whole piece over here as an entire unit and just line it up. It should give a pretty good frame. Different ribbons to choose from. Look at the green, look at the orange. I think because we've got this cute green bubble paper and then there's also the green glimmers, the orange becomes a better contrast. So I'm going to put that in here, thread it off to the side. I want this to be a square knot, a really nice flat square knot. So I'm bringing both ends over, see how they're both pointing upwards so I can see which one is right and which one is left. Right one goes on top and under. The second time, and I'll just hold that with one of my fingers, put them up again. The left one goes on top this time and under. This is a square knot. As I pull it tight, I'm going to help make sure that this stays nice and pretty and flat. And those ends should each just reach the same direction as the row of ribbon that you already have going. I always like to use my Take Your Pick tool, grab a little glue dot, get it right on the tip there. I'm going to sneak it right behind the knot. That helps me keep my ribbon right in place, right exactly where I want it. Of course, I always finish with pretty ends. I looked through all the gems I had and I landed on the Glossy Dots assortment. These have been out a while and I haven't used them very much. I just have some of the blue ones missing, but these purple ones look absolutely amazing on this card. So I'll just use my little putty end of the Take Your Pick tool and just start throwing some of these on. I went kind of crazy with those dots, got them everywhere. And I want to show you one more thing that I did. Here's the other card that I had already made. Let's check out the inside. Oh, Oh my goodness, look at the cute display of some of the other images from this stamp set. So let me show you how I did this. I've got a piece that is cut just to be a little smaller. It's 3 3/4 by 5 to go inside the card. I'm going to start with double, double, toil and trouble. I learned this the hard way. This way I can make sure that I have room for this greeting. So I want it to come kind of from the left, just like that. And then the cauldron is quite huge. It's not going to fit in here, so I'm just going to stamp as much as what will fit. So that's why I started with the words. Now I can just come in and add the cauldron and fill in whatever space is left. There's this amazing bubble image that's designed to go right on the edge of the cauldron. And then I wanted a few more just bubbles and sparkles coming down, and the set has a bunch more of those. So what I did is just take the stamps and I laid them right here, kind of where I wanted them to be with the flat side up. And then I just brought my block over here and picked it right up, just like that. So I picked them up on the block. So let's just ink this up. Now we'll just kind of place it here. We'll let it go all the way from the top of our cauldron over to where the words are. Something like that. Okay, I just did a pretty quick job coloring these bubbles with the light Granny Apple Green. I left some of the little shiny marks white just for a little emphasis. And I colored them kind of sloppy. I mean, it's a witch's brew. It's probably a little bit icky, you know? And now I basically did the same thing with my dark gray granite. I went over these areas that I wanted to be a little darker just a couple of times to add just a few of these cool little purple highlights. Sometimes it's so fun to decorate the inside of the card, isn't it? And there we go. Here was our inspiration, so our layout of the day, and me using all my latest favorite products for a favorite holiday. I have a cousin who was born on Halloween, so maybe I will, well, actually October 30th. So maybe I will send her this card for her birthday. Mandy, I don't know if you're watching my video or not, but I'm gonna send you this. What do you think of that? I hope you will love it. Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy spooky stamping. And I hope you had a lot of fun with this layout. It's been another fabulous stamping break with you guys. I hope you enjoyed getting spooky with me and that you had fun making this card. Tell me in the comments what you're going to make. What kind of papers will you use? Give me the thumbs up if mine is your favorite. And don't forget to check out all my competitors' videos. Their links are in my description. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a single video from me. And I will see you back here next time.